Good evening, dear friends. Last time I finished off because time was less, so at certain point, and then I will start from there onwards. And as you know, I was talking about urban transport, and in this urban transport, we discussed about the uh, uh, mass rapid transit system mostly. The mass rapid transit system is what you call metro in short, and that is for carrying people, a large number of people at very frequent intervals. When that type of requirement is there, then we go for that. If our demand is less, and if the area is very, very congested, then in that case, we may go for monorail system, where the only one car is there, or maybe maximum two cars, and the capacity also is less. So it is suitable for a lower volume of passengers, and it actually moves on a concrete beam. It is called monorail, but it moves on a concrete beam, and it actually rests on the beam, and sides it is regulated by all pneumatic tires are used in this. There is no steel wheel. The wheel is like in road vehicles, it is a pneumatic tired vehicle, and it is guided by that. And then wherever the route is to be changed, like points and crossing in case of, or switches in case of metro, here the beam is actually moved, and the line is changed, and accordingly the train moves from one to the other. And this is being operated by L&T in Bombay, and in many countries it is there. Of course, there are lobbies. They always try to influence that you use our product like that. But basically, one should be very, very careful, and the mode of transport must be decided based on the actual requirement. So where metro rail is required, we should go for metro. Where monorail is required, there we should go for mono. Okay. Monorail can negotiate larger curvatures. So in a congested area, it is okay. And monorail mostly is overhead, and it can be, there can be two systems. One is where the beam, it is resting on the beam, and beam is below it. And the other option is that it hangs from the beam. In that case, it can be steel construction, and it hangs from there and moves. The wheels move over the beam at the top, and then the vehicle runs. So that is another type of system. Then we have LRTs, which are in between the two. LRTs are light rail transport system, or LRV also it is called, light rail vehicle. So here also it is like a tram, what the modern version of tram. So it can be normally, I mean, it is run in at grade also. That means on the road surface, or it may be elevated also. So at grade and elevated, these are the two options for LRV. And as I told you, that it caters to the volume of traffic, which is intermediate between MRT and your monorail. So this is one option. And here the vehicles, for all these vehicles, we have to have workshops. They are called depots, where they have to be maintained, where all types of maintenance cycles A, B, C cycles are conducted. And the heavy maintenance is called C cycle, where you go for IOH and POH. POH is periodical overhauling, and IOH is intermediate overhauling. So that is coming under C category of maintenance. B is less intensive, and A is more frequent but still less intensive. So this is the arrangement, and they have to be stable during non-operational period and cleaned also. So for that, we have to have a stabling yard and washing automatic washing plant where it passes through the plant, and externally it is cleaned with detergent and water. There are brushes rotating on both the sides. When the train moves through this, then they come very close to the touching the outside of the car, and with detergent and water, it cleans that. And so this is a daily routine for all of us. Now, this is what we have discussed so far is with the guided systems, permanent way. They are called permanent ways. That means the road, line is fixed, and you can't have any flexibility of moving this side or that side. But there are other public transport, mass transport systems. Like we have been using government buses. That we are quite used to it, and then articulated buses are also there, where more than one bus is running and can carry more passengers at a time. But if you run the buses along with other modes of transport, then a lot of congestion is there. And in case of traffic jam, which is a normal scenario nowadays, so it becomes very difficult to move and all. It takes a lot of time, a lot of fuel consumption, and a lot of pollution, resulting pollution and lot. And delay in the movement. People cannot reach in time. Time is wasted. Now time is money, because people are because of the economic activities which are going on. The life has become fast-paced, and every minute counts. So valuable time should not be lost. It should be used for proper, production or some proper utilization. It should not be wasted. So keeping all these, now the concept of buses running in a dedicated on a dedicated route, that concept has come. That is called BRT. So that is basically bus rapid transit. So bus rapid, why it is rapid? Because you dedicate lanes for movement of those buses, nominated buses only. And they are buses of very good quality, and they are environment friendly, like running on gases. And inside you have very good facility for sitting arrangement and standing. Also, people can travel very comfortably because the inside is air conditioned, and therefore the fare also is kept reasonable, so that middle income group people and lower income group people can also travel, use the buses. And so to make it popular amongst all classes of people, the fare is kept reasonable. And since the road is dedicated, say for example, one lane for up direction and one lane for down direction, that will be kept for the bus to ply. And normally it is kept in the central portion, and the central verge is kept, the height of that is kept very, very small, so that in case of any emergency, suppose some bus is stuck up on one lane, so at that time the bus from the other lane can also move, and the bus moving on that lane can go temporarily on this other lane and then again come back on its own. So that flexibility, for that the the median or the small island which is kept is of very small height. Then you have bus stands for BRT, which is for which you have to have proper entry arrangement that the people can come without any much difficulty, and purchase the ticket and board the bus. And for the bus, the fare structure is not too many. Fare structure is kept very simple. So based on certain distance, less than that will come under one group. Then the other range, for that range there will be another group like that. And moreover, BRT is required not only from this point of view, but also because you see, if you are using MRT or you are using LRT or anything, the stations which are there, from there people have to move in different directions. So everywhere you cannot provide connectivity with metro. So there this comes very handy. So BRT, you get down at one particular metro station and catch one bus on BRT and go to your destination closest to your place. So that is one good option available with this. And very important thing in it is interfacing and integration of the station. The nearest station of metro or monorail or LRT to the BRT is properly connected, number one, so that they quickly passengers can move from one to the other. And we can also have a system where, you know, a charged card is available, and there you on the screen you insert the card, and on the screen you can select your destination. And even if that destination is it is not only a multimodal, it is actually multimodal, but you have to just enter your place of origin and place of destination, and it will automatically work out the total fare, and that much will be deducted from your charge card, and you will get a token which will be useful till your destination, common token which will be useful for up to your destination, and you can use that. And at the last stop, wherever you are there you have to just drop it inside and then come out. At other places, you have to just touch it and it will scan, and because it is magnetic, so it will just scan and allow you to. So this type of system can be already in place, and it works beautifully. But in India, the problem is here the concept is wherever BRT is there, in that route, the priority is given to buses. Buses means these dedicated buses, not in any type of bus. So these buses will dedicated this lane is there, so they have to work in. But other modes of transport obviously cannot be allowed in that much number over there. So private vehicles, etc., they have to be discouraged. But that is a very hard, difficult task in our country, especially. But in a country like Singapore, there very strict implementation is there, and purchasing of private vehicles, cars, etc., it has been made so costly that normally people cannot afford to purchase own vehicle. Similarly, the parking charges and other things are also kept very high, so that people are discouraged. Even if they have the vehicle, they are discouraged. They use it. They should use it for long distance run outside the city and not inside the city. And so that is one. They have been successful in implementing it properly, because as you know, Singapore is considered to be a country of laws. Fines. If you do not follow the this thing, you are heavily fined. So a lot of discipline is there, but the same thing is not possible even in Britain. In Britain, people have to be persuaded for a very, very long time before proper implementation of BRT. In India also, an attempt was made in Delhi for BRT, but that BRT actually was constructed on a road which was a very, very busy road. And BRT was done on a trial basis. BRT should not be done on a trial basis. It should have proper connectivity, then only it will be useful and it will be popular. So the problem was that the BRTs were running, the buses were running empty, and the private cars kept on increasing, and the space provided for them reduced because of this 2 lanes especially dedicated to BRT. As a result, there was much hue and cry, and finally it had to be removed. So it became unsuccessful. So it should not be like that. It should be strictly implemented. Number one, the private cars should not have been allowed to that extent. Number two, BRT on a trial basis should not be done in one particular stretch, because it does not serve the purpose. BRT has to be full-fledged planning has to be there for that, and it should be constructed, maybe constructed in phases, but not like for trial you take 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer stretch and then do it. That is not going to help. And people have to be educated, and enforcement also, discipline has to be also enforced. Then only these things will be successful. So if you go to Singapore, Singapore is an ideal example. That's why I'm quoting that. You go to Singapore and then you see BRT, how beautifully it is working. Metro is also working very beautifully. And you other private modes, and you will find very less. Last mile connectivity sometimes may require some taxi or auto type of thing, so that you can be dropped at your door. But it should be limited to very local type of movement, not large distances. Otherwise, they will create problem of congestion and all that. So this type of proper planning is required, which is somehow lacking. Here, basically, everything is, politically motivated. They want to take credit, whoever is in power, and the money left and right, they take loans from different sources, like Japan, China, and France, or ADB, and like things like that, Asian Bank, and but there, you see, if you take loans without proper consideration, proper application of mind, then it becomes counterproductive. And especially China, if you take a loan from China, you have to be very, very careful. So Sri Lanka, because of that, has suffered a lot. That is one recent example in front of us. And in addition to that, they took some very wrong decisions, committed some blunders, I should say, like organic farming. All on a sudden, organic farming was enforced, and fertilizers, etc., were stopped, which might actually resulted into production of crop food grains dropped drastically. There was no food grains available with them. So all, and then this corona was another major problem with everybody. So all these put together, their economy almost collapsed now. So you have to be careful in this respect and should not take loan left and right. Like I will, if somebody asks me to rate this your bullet train project from Ahmedabad to Bombay, I will say that this decision is a wrong decision, and it is ultimately going to be problematic for us. And same is the case with, I mean, one silver line is there in Kerala. Kerala government is very much after it, but that has been, that was high speed route again, not very high speed, but not normal high speed. So there they went for totally separate track for of standard gauge. There was no need for that. They could have easily gone for broad gauge and connected it to our railway network, and that was the initial planning. But somehow, because of some influence or something like that, it has been now changed to that thing. And the route also, because of that, is passing through certain terrain which is not proper, not advisable from geological considerations and other things. So it has become a major issue now. So there are a lot of controversies are there. So we should not, we should do, in fact, even in railways, there are many projects of national importance. They have been done without proper planning, including the Kashmir project, in which I was involved. There also, the proper planning was not done for the alignment. As a result, a lot of problems have been faced. And in future also, one is not sure whether problems, those problems will not affect the transportation on that. That is same is the case in northeastern region also. Northeastern region, there also lines are being constructed without proper planning. Geotechnical issues have not been properly investigated, and routes have not been decided very correctly. As a result, we are going to have problems there. So this is the thing. But railway network, as you know, it is basically a lifeline for the country, because major traffic is still carried by rails. Major goods traffic, that is, whenever bulk movement is required, like steel products or minerals for production of steel and all that, from mines, coal, all these things, they are mostly carried by trains in India. Initially, during the British period, or just at the time of independence, in fact, 90% such goods traffic was carried by rail only, and another 10 was on road. But now that ratio has changed, and now gradually contribution of road is also increasing because of large network of roads being developed. That is a good sign. So now it is gradually moving towards 50-50. So it has become more competitive also for railway and its survival also, because main income is from goods traffic, not from passenger traffic.
Bhaiya,
So,
if you want, you can end the session today.
so train is for very long distance haul, even for passengers. The distance between one station to the other, normally 7 or 8 kilometers will be the distance, not less than that. So there is a need also for faster movement, but uh, inside the city or outside suburbs, if they are to be connected, and you have to have a faster mode of transport, then one solution is RRT, that is rapid transit system. So that is basically not like metro, because metro we have stations spaced at 1 kilometer, roughly 1 kilometer interval. But in RRT, we have stations at around 5 kilometer interval. Say, for example, one best example in India, which is coming up, is the first phase, which is being developed from Delhi to Meerut. And Delhi, they are going to have a central hub at Sarai Kale Khan, and that will be the central hub. And 5, 6 lines will be radiating from there, out of which at present 2 more are under consideration. One will be passing through Gurgaon and going up to uh, um, uh, your Sohna side. And one from Sarai Kale Khan to Panipat side. So these two will be two additional things. And the one which is where the construction is going on, that is between Sarai Kale Khan Delhi to Meerut. And there the design speed has been kept 180 kmph, quite fast. And the maximum operational speed will not be 180 km because that is design speed. But actual maximum speed will be around 140, etc. 140 kmph, roughly around that. And it will be 5 kilometers long, so it will be able to achieve that much of speed. So it will be a very fast communication, and with all different good facilities, air-conditioned coaches and all that. And the idea is that all the people from suburbs like Meerut, somebody wants to go to Panipat. What he will do, he will catch a train there, get down at Sarai Kale Khan, and then catch another line train, which will go to Panipat. Or sometimes different trains will be running, which will be going from one end to the other end of the other line. So if you are moving on that, so you don't have to even change the train. The train will take you from origin to destination. One train only you will be required to do. So these are the various types of various modes of transport which are being developed. So I think today's topic I will close here.